All right, y'all. Welcome to the TaeVi's podcast. This is a special podcast because we are here with the originator, and this podcast wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for the woman sitting across from me right now, the queen, my love, my heart, my mama, the one who brought me into this world. Everybody say hey to my mama and give us some claps for the clap. Now I don't know what you want to be called on this podcast to other people, but you my mama. But what you want the people to call you on here?
Miss Tiff.
Miss Tiff will be her name for you guys. But this is a special podcast episode because I'm doing for December, since the holidays. I'm doing a podcast with each one of my immediate family members, meaning my mom, my dad, and my two siblings, my sisters. And the first one is my mother, and we're gonna be releasing them all throughout December, and we basically just gonna be talking about how we grew up, our relationship, our family dynamic, how life was and stuff like that. But other than that, if y'all like it, y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and y'all try to do this with y'all family members and create some memories. Hopefully, mama don't cry. But how you doing today, mother? I called her after work, y'all.
I'm good, blessed, highly favored.
Now my mama don't do stuff like this. So yeah, I don't know how she gonna be on here, but we gonna get straight into it. I want to get into early Miss Tiff as a childhood kid because everybody say we twins. How was your childhood growing up in New Orleans?
I had a pretty good childhood. Mom, she raised me pretty good. Sisters and brothers. It was 10 of us. But I'm the baby. So meaning that they always said I had my way. I got to do everything. Never got in trouble. But all in all, as a kid growing up, I had a good childhood.
Okay, growing up in a household with 10 children, I can't relate to that. Only you could because you had the siblings. How was it? You say you got your way, being a baby, being the last one. How was your relationship with your other siblings growing up? And try to turn this way, man, not to the wall, so the people can see you.
We pretty much got along real good. Well, with 10 kids, it's always going to be a problem in the house. The little its and buts fighting. Not fighting, hand fighting, but this one want to do this one want to do that. Other than that, we was good. We was good.
As growing up as a kid in New Orleans, what part of New Orleans did you grow up in?
I grew up in the 7th Ward.
All right, the 7th
Hard
Ward.
head. Yeah.
All right, y'all. The 7th Ward back in the not gonna give too much of the age who don't want, but the 90s basically, where you was a teenager and stuff. How was that in the well, let's say the 80s and the 90s growing up?
Pretty much. I could tell you this, it wasn't like now. We had it more settled, more cooler. Things were not as violent as y'all have right now. It was like block parties, school dances, and things like that.
Okay. Do you find it like kind of interesting that the 90s, the 80s and 90s swag is like kind of coming back?
Yes.
To now, like the baggy clothes, the big jerseys, stuff like that. It's the stuff
Yes.
y'all wear, Reeboks, all that
Yes.
type of stuff.
Everything that y'all got going on right now, we had that back in the 90s and the 80s. The jerseys, the throwback tennis, the Adidas, things like that. We wore that.
Growing up, what was your style growing up? What did you like to wear? What things did you like to do as a kid?
I like to go out, have fun. It wasn't, put it like this, we didn't have the clubbing like y'all had. We had clubs back in the days, but they wasn't like the clubs like this. So we pretty much went to clubs. We had, if you want to know the clubs that we went to, the names, back in the days, we had Rumors. We had Newton's Uptown.
Okay.
Rumors was on St. Claude. We had Whispers on the Lake. Things like that. That's where we hung it at. We didn't have what you all have now.
Like hookah balls and
No, we
lounges
didn't
and
have no
stuff like
hookah
that.
balls or none of that. It was just like clubs that you go to, and that's pretty much was the clubs we were hanging out at.
What those clubs scene? What type of music was being played in those clubs back then?
Well, we had rap, but we didn't have the bounce rap which y'all had. We had real rap.
What is real rap? What are some artists like?
Like back in the days, we had like Eric B. and Rakim. That was way before y'all time. Y'all ain't know nothing about that. Songs like I Got Soul. We had LL Cool J. We had what? Let me see who else that I listened to. We had a little Jay-Z. He was just coming out then. So Jay-Z was coming out. We had him. Who else I could name that people was hip to? You had like
When was this? The mid 90s, early
mid 90s, yeah. We had like Young G's and all them was coming out. I'm not one of those that listen to the rap that y'all listen to. I listen to bounce. Don't get me wrong. My son will tell you, I'm not one of them moms that listen to old music. I listen to all types of music, but we had music like that we listened to. Young G's and all them was coming out, but they was just starting out. It was like the more older rappers back in the day, like Tupac, Biggie.
Okay.
We was listening to stuff like that. Y'all was coming up, but y'all was just getting into it like that.
Okay, what about the R&B back then?
Okay, R&B. We had like R. Kelly, which everybody want to throw Kels to the side. Not me. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm going to always be a Kels fan. Kels, we had R. Kelly. We had like John B. We had Donnell Jones. Those was the R&B singers. The real Usher. We had who else? Keith Sweat. Keith Sweat. Yeah, we had Keith Sweat.
Tank.
LSG. Well, Tank wasn't too much in that
Category.
genre. Yeah, he was coming out, but he wasn't in their genre. Like them was the singers we know. Like Jodeci,
Okay.
Mary J.
All right. I want to get back to more you and someone as you was coming. What school did you go to? Let's go elementary, all the way up to high school.
Well, y'all might know elementary as AP2 Road, but it was Maurice Couvent, Parker Street, 7 Ward.
Maurice Couvent.
Yes.
Okay.
Junior high school, I went to McDonald's 28. That was on Esplanade.
All right.
Senior high school, John McDonald, them Trojans. We ran Esplanade. Everybody know that.
John McDonald is horrible. That is, they call it the Mac. You guys,
Yeah.
That is horrible. Everybody know where that's at on Esplanade by Renter Center. But
It wasn't horrible back in the day.
well, I'm talking about now.
It's not John Mac anymore.
Well, it was the Mac when I was in high school
Okay.
in East.
Well, come back to when you was in high school a couple of years now.
That's about 9 years now.
All right then.
All right. What kind of kid were you in school? Growing up.
I was a good kid. But to be honest, the teacher said I always wanted to be the one to come to school dressed. We didn't have uniforms. We had regular
clothes.
So I was the one that always wanted the nice tennis, the Guess jeans. That was
the same way you is now.
Yeah, pretty much kept myself together.
Okay. As school went on, and you being the youngest, did most of your siblings go to the same school?
No.
The ones who was no.
Well, they was at Clark, 35. The oldest two, I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember what school they went to. But the other ones, Clark, John Mack, 35.
Okay. What's the age gap from the youngest sibling, which is you, to your oldest sibling?
Woo! That's a big gap. That's like a 30-year gap. I'm gonna be honest.
Dang.
Yeah.
Dang. All right, 30-year gap. Now I want to go up into your teenage years of you becoming a young lady and you starting to dealing with men and start. You know what I'm talking about. I won't get too deep because you're my Bible, but as you become of age, 17, 18, 19, 20, and start dealing with young boys, how was your relationship with dealing with men at that age? Young men at that age.
Well, like what age approximately you talking about?
Or like your late teens, because you had your first child, what, 21, 22?
21.
21. So well, you had T at 21. So I imagine a few years before that you started dealing with men, young men. So how did that lead up to that?
Well, I got to that age. Well, the fella started talking to me, to be exact.
And you got older siblings though, so I imagine they probably was protective of you
Yeah.
a little bit.
But they always say I never was the type to really tell what I was doing, how I was meeting this
You're
one.
a secretive.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was a little
Sneaky.
Somewhat. That's what they say.
All right. What would you say? Who would you say was your closest sibling growing up?
My closest sibling was being my sister that's older than me, Caprice.
Okay. And she's like the second youngest.
Yes.
How was y'all relationship growing up as y'all in a teenage year, since y'all was like closest to age together? Did y'all like go everywhere together?
Yes, we did. We had a beautiful relationship. Parades, Bayou Classic. We just hung out. We was like close, real close.
Okay. As you got to your 20-year-old, and we talking about you approaching motherhood now, you having T at 21 years old. What was your reaction when you got the news that, when you found out the news, not got the news that you were pregnant with T?
The way I found out is really kicks. So everybody's gonna laugh, but I'm gonna tell y'all. I just got in the urge that I was eating a lot of grapes, and actually, my mom, she was like, "You eating pretty much a lot of grapes these days and Frosted Flakes
With milk or just Frosted Flakes?
with milk."
All right.
And she said, "We're gonna go to the doctor."
Okay.
So I went to the doctor, got examined, took the test. I was pregnant.
And grandma was there? What was her reaction?
She was okay with it. She was okay with it.
Okay. And you was a mama's girl. Well, they say mama's boys, but you was a mama's girl.
Yeah.
So when you got the when you went to the doctor, what was your reaction though?
To be honest, I pretty much thought it, but I didn't think it at first. But it kind of crossed my mind because I was, at the same time, they said I was very mean when I was pregnant with T. Very mean. They said, actually, I had my little niece, I think it was Megan, because my sister, was it Megan? Yeah, it was Megan and my little niece. They was living with us, I think. At the time, I don't want to make a mistake, but I pretty much, and they say I was so mean that they couldn't even pass in front of my bed. I would fuss. I would tell them get out because I was a grouchy pregnant person. But I guess that's because that was my first time being pregnant, and they say you have all kind of mood swings, so that's how I was. But as time went by, I was okay with it.
Okay. Since that's your first kid. Were you because being a first time father, I know it's like some scares there, or were you like nervous or scared about having your first kid, and why were you nervous?
Because being that parent, you actually don't know how you're gonna take care of baby as far as making sure how I'm gonna hold the baby, how I'm gonna feed the baby, stuff like that, and I'm like, okay. And then I'm going to be honest, as we're on this podcast, I was like, okay, the dad, I didn't want to have nothing to do with the dad because, when as women, we get in our moods and everything, and our things went kind of sour. And then it was little fibs too on my part, to be honest. So it was a whole lot of stuff.
Okay.
But as time went by, I had the best of help. She helped. She was raised correctly. We didn't have any problems, and to this day on, I don't regret it. I don't regret it at all.
Now, with that being said, older sis T, how old is T? What, she just made what?
She's about to be 34.
34? Dang.
She's 33 now.
Okay, dang, T, you getting old. T might be 34 in January. So you was the youngest baby. In having a baby, you told your little fears. But how was your reaction to becoming a mother, since you always kind of was like baby? You was the youngest sibling. you had to be a mother now. How was your reaction when T finally arrived? And how was the pregnancy though? You say you was grouchy. How was it, like smooth, or easy delivery?
Actually, you couldn't tell I was pregnant till the very end because I wasn't the woman that showed like as you get bigger and bigger. I really got bigger at the end, but when she was born, it was real. I'm like, okay, which I had help. My sister Caprice, it was like it was her baby when she came because she always had the baby. I didn't have to worry about, okay, who gonna do this, who gonna do that. It was just her.
Okay.
She always had the baby.
All right. That was at 21. So as y'all see, this little baby coming in, our baby, her grandbaby.
Hey, Mama.
She give Mama a hug.
Hey, Mama.
All right, go back by mommy.
Come on.
Go back by mommy. But yeah, that was your first pregnancy. After T, because you could tell T was the only child for a little minute.
5 years.
I heard stories of T being jealous when you had your second child because she was the only child for 5 years.
Yes, she was.
And that's when you met Pops 5 years later. What was it like meeting Pops? Yeah, he always tell a story y'all met. He met when you was on a porch or something.
Yeah.
So break that down. How did that go?
Actually, he knew my cousin. He was friends with one of my cousins, and he would always pass. I'm coming by my cousin's house, and he was like, he asked her one day, "Who that red chick is around the corner, always on the step with them high shorts on?" And my cousin Jennifer, that was her name. Well, that's her name. She told him that's my cousin Tiffany's there in that house with her mama. And one day he got the courage up to stop. We started talking. We went on a couple of dates. And from that point on, we've been together for
Ever
what?
since.
31 years.
What year was that? When you met him? Because Quell was born in 97, so you must have met him mid, 90s?
Yeah, mid-90s.
So he had the courage to come up. How did Dad look back then?
The same. Actually, his features haven't changed. He looked the same. He older now, but his features, they're the same.
And what about him that made you decide to go out on a date with him?
Because he kept bothering me. He would not stop.
Now I'm gonna have Dad on this podcast. He gonna tell his side of the story too.
Let him tell it. Mine gonna always add up.
All right. He kept bothering you.
I don't mean bothering me like.
Yeah, but he kept trying to get the number, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. So as it goes on with Pops, 97 comes, and you get the news you're pregnant again for a second time. What was your reaction this time? Did you know it?
Yeah, he was like, we gonna have a baby together. He had named the baby before I even got pregnant. Naquel Nicole Nelson.
That's what he came up with?
He came up with that name. That was not I had nothing to do with that. He always said if he had a baby girl, it would be Naquel Nicole Nelson.
He followed through.
Yeah, I gave him his switch.
Okay. So when that happened, this was a planned baby. Yeah, the hospital comes. The baby comes. How's the relationship as that comes on, the second child? Moving in with another child already with T. Quell comes.
Actually, it was good. On our behalf, it was good. T was kind of jealous because she had been a baby by herself for 5 whole years. Okay, she didn't want no other baby, but as time went by, she combined in, and it was big sister, little sister.
Okay, all right. At this point, were you still staying with Grandma? You moved in.
Well, actually,
Space.
I had moved. I was back and forth. I'm gonna put it like this: I was home with my mom, then I was home with Gerald. So that's kind of how it went. It wasn't that I was completely staying with him at the time, but most of the time you could say I was staying with him because I was at his house.
Okay.
until we called it our house.
All right. And where were y'all residing at during this time?
The Marabou Apartments on Marabou.
Okay. That's what's that? Gentilly. All right. Cool. Now, as that goes on for a year and a half, it doesn't take too long. It don't take too long for me right here currently to arrive. A year, basically
Baby boy.
a year and 9 months later,
Yeah.
September 1998. I arrived, the youngest of your children. Um, why so quick on the trigger again?
Hey, things happen.
Dang, I wasn't glad things happened.
Things happen.
That's cool.
But we love you dearly.
Yes, you do. So when when the news arrived that you're pregnant again, what was your reaction?
Damn, another one. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, y'all. I was like, okay, here we go again.
And what was the reaction from grandma?
Well, she was like, "You gone again, girl?" That was her word. Oh, you gotta lock it up after this.
Mm-hmm. And you did.
I locked it up. Locked it up.
No, you didn't make it to the 2000 with babies. All right, so now you have three siblings. You got a 1 year old, basically a 1 year old, a newborn, and T, who's what, 7, 6 or 7, 7.
7.
Yeah, 7 at this time.
7.
How y'all dealing with this juggling this?
Well, actually, it wasn't hard to juggle because I had a little village before they started with the village thing. My mama was a 100, sister was a 100, so I really didn't have little nieces. All them, they was there.
Team.
So it was a smooth little ride.
I didn't ask you, how was your pregnancy with Quell, and how was Quell as a baby before that year and a half before I came?
What you mean?
Like
As I was pregnant?
Yeah, you talk about how was the pregnancy with her, and then after she came.
I was a little sick with Quell. You know, not bad sick, but like, you know, just sick. Quell was that baby. You know, they said a middle child, always the out child. Yeah, I had a little complications with Quell, but everything was okay in the end. So it wasn't too bad of a pregnancy, but like I said, I had a little complications, and that was it. A little scare when she was getting ready to come. It was a little scare, but pulled through it.
And was Pops there for Quell?
Yes,
pregnancy?
he was. He was there. It was there.
Was he scared?
He wouldn't show it. I don't think he showed it, but you know, as y'all men are, y'all don't like the show, but he had a little scare with it.
Okay.
But it was okay in the end.
Okay. As that happened, how was Dad as because he obviously he had little Joe before, but how was he as dad to first time dad with you with Quell?
He was a 100. He make the bottles, feed, bed. Really and truly, I wouldn't even have to get up at night. He was the best, which he's still the best. I have no complaints on his end.
Okay.
None.
Now how was Quell as a baby? That 1.5 years.
Quell was whoop.
Lord, Quell, you still woof?
Quell was the whoop, baby. She was Quell was a handful. But she was a good baby. She was a handful.
Also, what age did T started walking? If you remember, how many months? A year?
Yeah, I can remember. T started walking at 10 months.
Okay.
Quell started walking at 11 months. Dante started walking around 12 months.
Damn.
Yeah.
Last place. Damn, bruh. All right. So back to when I came. When I came, I've heard stories as well that I was a crying baby.
Oh, he was Sproul. He had 2 people he only go to besides me and Gerald. That was Megan and Shannon, my 2 nieces. If they didn't come around, he was gonna cry all day, all day. That was the only people he would go to besides me and Gerald.
Dang. Now, when I came, you finally, I forgot to mention too, your only boy. When you found out the gender of the last time, did they like do that back then? I'm saying like it's a story. Did you find out the gender before or you had to wait?
Actually, they told me you was gonna be a girl.
Oh yeah, I do remember. Y'all
Yeah.
did say this before.
Uh-huh.
So when you found out it was gonna be a boy?
Actually, I found out within the seven. It was the 7 month. I don't want to lie, but they had told me around 4 months that you was gonna be a girl.
Mm-hmm.
And I went back to the doctor, and they took the ultrasound, and then they came back and they put you on. Well, you was on the screen, and they say, "Look at this, Miss Butler." I'm like, "What? We got a mistake. You got a boy coming."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "That's fine, long as he healthy."
What you thought it was? Twins when they said we got a mistake?
No,
Oh.
I know better than that. I
So-
probably would have arranged.
So did y'all have like already bought girl stuff? No, or y'all wasn't there yet.
No, we didn't. We didn't. We didn't. We didn't.
Mm-hmm.
We waited. But when we found out you was a boy,
Mm-hmm.
your nanny Kenya, she went crazy
Mm-hmm.
buying stuff.
Dang.
She did because she wanted a boy.
Okay. So how did you name T? Cause Daddy named Quell.
I named T.
Who? You?
I named T.
The whole name?
The whole name.
What about so who named me?
Actually, I did. And your nanny.
Okay. So what part? How did y'all separate it?
What?
You said me and your nanny. Y'all came to conclusion
Well-
on who picked the middle name and stuff like that.
She was like Dante. I was like, okay, we're gonna go with Dante DeJong.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to you. I want to say the 2000s. We can skip a little bit because we don't gotta break down every part of my mama life. We go to Katrina, 2005. I'm 7 years old. Quell 8, and Pew's what 13. What was that like? Cause I kind of remember this a little bit with us in the truck.
Yeah.
But matter of fact, before we get to that, cause a lot of stories and pictures we don't have anymore, like of us as like children.
It was lost in Katrina.
So what was I want you to get like a brief like breakdown of like the early 2000s before Katrina with all of us, like some stories, a story you might have that stand out with us like as a family.
What you mean? You and your two sisters or all us together?
All us just something that you remember from us together. It could be singular of a me, of Quell, or T.
Well, you was the type to sit in front of the TV and do all kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
Quell was the type. Quell always played with her baby dolls.
Mm-hmm.
Always wanted to do hair, play with hair and stuff. T was just crazy. I don't mean like that.
Mm-hmm.
T was at that time. I think we had MySpace.
Right.
T would sit on the computer all night and just
Add friends.
friends, MySpace. You used to have to make her go to sleep.
Yep. I remember that computer.
But all in all, y'all was good, sisters and brothers together.
I would say, all right, let's get to Katrina. Katrina hit. What was going through your mind? We were staying on North Roman, right there by Buddy Friend,
Yes.
in the night wall.
But as you know, when we found out that we was having a major hurricane, your dad was in Florida. He came back, made sure we was out of there 3 days before Katrina.
Right.
So it was like, okay,
Do you remember the conversation between you and Dad? Like, we gotta leave for this one.
yeah. He called. He said, "I'm gonna be there to pick y'all up. I probably have to work it. I don't know yet, but he didn't have to work it because we wound up going to a whole nother
City and we went to
city,
Winsboro.
Winsboro. But anyway, it was pretty much it was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody was scared. I think everybody was scared for this one because you thought you was coming back, but then you didn't think you was coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, when we saw it on the news that morning, we was in Winsboro at a shelter. That's where we wound up at. And the news came on, and we saw what had happened and how the city was underwater. It was like, okay, there's no going back. And you know when you go to a new place, you're like, there's nothing like New Orleans. Nothing like New Orleans. Okay, how we gonna make this work? We don't come in with other people. We used to how we live in New Orleans. So it was a whole nother thing that we was gonna be going through. But all in all, when it all came, push came to shove, you had to make it do what it do at that time. You had to settle, get yourself together, and hey, yeah, we had y'all. So everybody had, and pretty much everybody had kids, except for people who don't have kids. You're like, okay, this is new life for now. We didn't know when we was coming back to New Orleans. We didn't know what was gonna happen, but we made it work.
Not saying that when we went to the shelter, we were not only family who was there at the shelter, right? We had
No,
other
we had a whole
cousins.
lot. We had a whole lot of my sisters. We had my nieces. It was a lot of us. But as time went, we all split because everybody was going their different ways.
Right.
Getting back to home and
Moving other places.
yeah. But we was the last ones. And I think we came back home in what? 2006?
2006.
Yeah, 2006. I never forget. We came home in July.
Yep, and the lights was off. We came on to
'Cause
the
it
lights
was raining.
off. I remember that
We was
day.
moving back home on
And-
Bartholomew Street.
Yep, and a bunch of our family was there when we moved
Yeah,
back.
cousin Cherie and
Yeah.
her kids was there waiting for us.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Did you and Dad ever have a conversation of why y'all went back to New Orleans, or if y'all were gonna go somewhere else?
no, we had a conversation. Actually, it was my conversation. I was like, I'm over this, and I think I was getting really stressed out. Living there, I remember this one conversation I told Taranika. We was living in Winsboro, and I told her one day I woke up. I said, I gotta get out this place. I'm tired of waking up, looking out the window at horses. I said, Monday, we going home. And then next week we was on our way home.
Yeah. She mentioned looking at horses. We stayed at the trailer park. It was, mind you, it wasn't one of like a regular.
No.
It wasn't like the FEMA trailers. It was like
It was
the
a
home
mobile
trailers.
home.
Yeah, mobile home. Like
Nice.
3-bedroom, 2
Yeah.
bathroom. She had a little jacuzzi. I used to love jumping in
He
there.
used to jump in the tub. He never wanted the bed in the back bedroom. He always came in my room in the tub.
Yep, and it was the country, y'all. Winsboro is like a place in basically Monroe, Louisiana. So it was the country. And y'all, if y'all know Mama don't do country.
So I don't do country, not at all.
Yeah, but we had some good stories in Winsboro in the shelter
Yeah,
though.
and the people were real nice.
Yep.
Real nice. They treated us real nice, I must say.
Yeah, shout out Pastor Rick.
Miss Jean, the wife.
So coming back to New Orleans and getting Black acclimated to real life. How long did it take for you and Dad like to shake back in the city, like get a job? Well, Daddy was a truck driver, so
I had a job.
Yeah.
And it took me a good, month, because I was like, I'm going to work. And I started working at Merrill's Mansion, Sidney Torres, bread and breakfast. I went out one morning. I got hired the same day. I worked there for about I think I worked there a good 4 or 5 years. Yeah, until I moved on. I worked for him, and I also did his what you call it? I don't want condo. I would clean his condo. That was my other job. But all in all, it was pretty much. It didn't take us long to get back into working and everything. Gerald never stopped working. He never stopped working. He was always the truck driver.
in the plant.
Yeah, in a plant. So he never stopped working.
As around this time, I knew I was outside. Quell started to gradually come outside as we moved on, but that me back to the night wall. How was your job as a mother during this time? As we kind of like most of us are all of age. We not too much dependent on you and Dad no more, like as in I guess like babies anymore. We kind of like outside.
Y'all pretty much was good kids. Y'all would go outside. Y'all knew what time y'all had to come inside. Y'all had y'all friends. Was pretty much, I could say it was pretty much a good little childhood that y'all had. Everything wasn't always perfect,
Right.
and I think that's what everybody, any parent, always, because sometimes they didn't listen. We had one climbing on houses.
I don't know which one that was.
That will be the one who's running this podcast. Yeah. Quell was the type. She would go outside. She had started going outside.
She started going outside because her little big brother
Yeah.
got her outside.
Because Quell was always inside. Taranika, that's a whole nother story.
She was a grown one.
Yeah.
But I don't think I remember too much of Pube's pathology. Like, I don't like me and her paths never like crossed. Like, I don't remember. The only time I remember her is on the computer. Like, throughout the day in like school as we get through, I don't remember like Pube's. That's crazy.
She was one of them who did, though she was grown at the time.
Her and Sierra.
Mm-hmm. The big sister, as she called her. Yeah, they was doing what they wanted to do. They was hanging out.
Yeah, and I don't remember. We 8
years.
But
all in all, they y'all was good. Y'all was good.
I want to talk about some whoopings that we got. Me and Quell, I should say, because not really Pews. Because as we say, she was older, she was gone, and me and Quell was kind of like the ones at home who got the whoopings and ran.
Yeah, they ran under the bed, in the closet.
Yep.
Especially Mr. Dante.
Yeah, I used to be out of there. Quell used to be slower. What was the thought process of? Did you get whoopings growing up?
I really didn't get whippings. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't catch whippings. I might have got a little pop one or two times from my mama, but I didn't get whippings. So I guess it really wasn't a thing. And I'm gonna be honest, they didn't really get whipped.
Right.
Everybody used to say my kids. I didn't whip my kids, which we really didn't. If anybody got the whippings, it would be Gerald would tell him he was gonna whip them.
Yeah.
But I never really whipped them.
Right. It had to be something like really like.
Really something to make me go there with them to say I'm gonna whoop y'all.
Right. You know well, when Pops got home or something, he'll try to put the smack down. Then you have to run from him. But he'll wait him.
Yeah, he'll sneak up on them when they think it's over with. He'll sneak up on them.
Yeah, he'll catch you. Sitting in front of the TV. How you thought it was over? You thought you got away, huh?
And he was getting a whop.
Yeah.
30 minutes later, he was going to say, I'm sorry. But, bro, you got to listen.
Yeah.
You got to listen.
That's him till he got older. Wait, as we get to teenagers, I want to ask you, did you feel at that age you were being a good mother? What was your definition of being a good mother?
I would say, I would put it like this. I was a good mother, and sometimes I was a bad mother.
And I was a good mother.
Yeah, but I'm saying at that time, so now things were different.
But what did you feel you were bad at? You said you was a bad mother. What did you feel you was bad at?
I don't think I was bad, but
a bad moment.
Yeah, like sometimes when you can't do this for your kids, and I think I don't know, I can't speak for every mom, but sometimes, because I'm the mom that I always want to do for my kids, I still do for them now. They grown. And I'm not just saying this. They'll speak on it for you. Yep. If I couldn't do nothing for them, I would get in my feelings. Say they wanted something and I couldn't get it at the time, I would get in my feelings and I'm like, okay, they want this and I can't get it right now. But that would be the thing. I don't think as other things that I failed in unless they tell me. And don't get me wrong, my kids done told me things. We done had words with each other as teenagers, adults. But all in all, I think I raised them to be pretty good. And I think and not to put them in it, I think I did a pretty good job with my nieces as they went along. Even though my sisters are their mothers, and I don't take nothing, I always tell them, y'all, that's your mothers. But my kids, I think I did a pretty good job with them. This point, and I'm still doing a pretty good job, I think.
Right.
But life gonna throw you curves, and I think everybody know that. You just gotta be able to handle it. You gotta be able to handle it.
Yeah, and I agree, and I think it's fine for you to throw in nieces and nephews because you didn't just take care of us. No, you took care of our cousins and, like you said, your nieces and nephews like they were your own. And I'm not just gonna take that credit. Right. Gerald was there too.
Same. Yeah. He did his part. He took my little nieces, my nephews in like, hey, and from this, he's still that way. He's still that way. So it's according to how you want it to be, how you raise them, and what you feel or believe. You know, I never was like, okay. And we didn't have bad times, we didn't have good times. But when the push come to the shove, my kids can tell you, I'm gonna make a way. I'm gonna find a way. It's not gonna be a bad way, but I'm gonna find a way to make it work. And I think they dad is the same way. We gonna make it work. So it's what you put into life. It's what you get out there and do. It's what you make of it. Right. So I think all in all, I raised them real good, and I'm still raising them. Cause most people tell me all the time, and they be like, "You don't care. I don't care what you say." And these are my 3 things. Y'all may laugh, but I always tell people. Where it's really 4 now, I tell people all the time: don't play with my money. Don't play with my kids. Don't play with Gerald. Don't play with that grandbaby. Me, you could play with me, and my kids know me. When I take it there, I take it there. But those things, I don't play about. I don't play about them. And we conversating on this podcast, and I'm being real with y'all. Every morning I wake up, before my feet hit the bed, I ask the Lord to watch over my kids. I ask him to watch over Gerald, my grandbaby, my daughter-in-law, my nieces, my nephews, my sisters. I may not talk to them every day. I may not talk to my kids every day. But you best believe I ask the Lord every day, let me live to see my grandbaby, Danny Marie, Butler, to be grown. Mine grown, and I love them to death. But when she came along, ask them what I told them. It's over for y'all. And they'll tell you that. There's a lot of things that I would cut off right now. If they call and say, they name it. They played me about a week ago. The mom and the dad.
We did.
Told me they was bringing me my grandbaby. I'm inside. My son is a witness to this. When he called and said he coming, the clothes laid out for her food ready. He know this. I don't play behind that grandbaby. They was going out. My oldest daughter, Taranika, came sick. Oh, mama, look on K's story. They out drinking and eating. I'm like, okay. Well, I've been sitting here about an hour waiting for the baby. Been no baby. Everything laid out. But, hey, she was in good hands because she was at her nanny's house. So, hey, it's what you put into life.
All right. I could agree with everything she said, y'all. Mama was a good mama. Mama is a good mama. I do want to let the people know that, like you say, everything ain't perfect. So I want to let them in on a fuss that me and you had us growing up. This is on not Pauline, Mazan Street, the same house. Me and my mother had a fuss about a little
Chester draw.
Chester draw.
Yes, it was. It was a bad fuss.
It was a bad fuss that came to tears from both of us.
Yes.
Over a small Chester drawer, y'all. And it was because she had it in her room. Hold up, it was in your room, right?
Yeah.
And I think I took it out or something.
Yes.
I took it out and put it in my room. Mind you, it was mine though. It was my Chester drawer. And I took it and put it in my room. And then she come spazzing on me. I forgot what she said, something, because he's evil. That boy is evil. He took that Chester drawer knowing I need it. And then my wife now, currently, she said, I think she said, oh, babe, come in here right quick, babe. Well, come in the thing, man. I need you for this story. Come here. They ain't gonna see you. You got a hoodie on. Come on.
All right, I don't have to be in it.
Turn this way. Turn this way to the mic then.
I don't have to be in it like that.
You gotta be in the mic. So you remember the story where the Chester drawer we was fussing over?
Yeah.
Hold up. I think the mic went out. Hold up. The Chester drawer we was fussing over. And what did you tell me when I took it or something? Did you say I was wrong or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said you was wrong. You need to go back there and apologize to your mother. And with y'all, because y'all was crying, screaming, and hollering. Y'all was doing too much behind that little Chester drawer. And it just wasn't worth it. So I said you need to go back there and talk to her. You didn't lock me out the room because you feel some type of way. It was crazy that day for a Chester drawer.
For a two drawer Chester drawer, y'all, like a little nightstand one. What was you thinking at that moment? Why you went so hard, man?
Because it was in my room and it was in my belongings at that time. Why would you take it?
Come on.
Quell and Daddy instigating in the hallway.
Yeah.
They ain't making it no better because this is rare with being Hey baby. Okay. This was a rare occasion where me and my mom at least argue to that level where
Yeah.
tears come. So that was very new and that was very sad. But we came. Well, I think I came to you.
Yeah.
Which one was it? I came to you and apologized.
He did. He did. He did.
For that small little argument that was so big. But I'm glad we can look back on and laugh today. Any other things you want touch on, ma? You touched a little bit on being a grandmother. Do you want more grandchildren?
Of course. Of course. Why not? Yeah. Which I really think they'll bring me the next grandbaby again. Because the girls, they into themselves. And I'm not saying they don't want kids. I don't know. They say not right now. Which, hey, I respect my kids' mind. And I respect what they go by. But, hey, whoever bring me the next one, as long as it's healthy.
Well, as long as it's healthy is the main factor. Would you prefer another girl or
No,
boy?
we could do a boy. We could do a boy. I love girls.
Real fast.
I love girls, but we could do a boy.
Okay.
Because this one we got, she's kind of a little too sparrow. So we gotta break the code.
We gotta balance it out.
Yeah.
Okay. Y'all, I think that's enough for my mama to y'all. Is there anything that you wish you could have done better as growing up as a mother or just as a teen? I also I forgot. I'm sorry. I wanted to ask you, as a teenager, what did you want to be growing up? You got to pee, huh?
Yeah, I gotta use the restroom. Dang, you see me?
Me too. We like twins. I'm twisting.
That's my twin.
I'm twisting right now. I'm twisting right now.
That's why I'm twisting. I got it.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up quick.
But,
What did you want to be growing up?
When growing up, what you mean? Like
as a occupation, like what did you want to do career wise?
if I tell y'all gonna laugh and say you could never be. I really would have liked to be a teacher. I really would have.
Okay.
But hey,
That patience. I don't know how patient was back then. Our patience thing for a fool now.
Yeah,
Don't test it.
Don't test me. But all in all, within my kids' friends, I love them all. They call me mama. Everybody. I think I'm the cool mom.
Yeah.
And
She the cool mom, but she would.
I will go there with you. I will go there with you.
Don't let her fool you.
But I love everybody. I love my family. And like I said, I may not talk every day, may not see them, but guess what? If they call me, they know one thing: I'm coming.
Okay.
I'm coming. My nieces, they my heart. Anybody know me? I'm the auntie that hang with the nieces. And hey, that's until I settle down. And they know I tell them every year is a different year. I made 52. Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm about to be 53 if the Lord say the same in June, but I tell them every year I'm going to wrap it up because I got a grandbaby. But, hey, they be like, no, you're not.
Keep having your fun, man.
I enjoy life, and I love everybody.
I love you, Mom. I'm glad you came on here. You did real well, too.
Thank you, love.
You did well. This is the TaeVi podcast, the Happy Holidays episodes of my family. Both of us got a piece, so we're going to wrap it up.
Love y'all big.